Welcome to Kingdom Stuff, where we talk about all things related to the kingdom of God and doing like Jesus. Well, I was on a plane ride from New York back to Pittsburgh one time, and sitting in the back of the plane, we were just getting ready to taxi off, and across from me, on the other side of the aisle, was another lady, and she was like gripping the armrest, and I noticed, and I was like, "Oh, she looks really nervous. Probably doesn't like to fly." So I asked her, I said, "Are you nervous about flying?" And she said she hated it. She was very fearful of it. And I just looked at her and I said, "Well, you don't have anything to worry about." She looked at me like, "What do who are you? What do you know?" I said, "Well," I said, "you have nothing to worry about." I said, "The flight's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine." I said, "You know how I know?" And she's like, "No." I said, "Because God's not done with me yet." She looked at me like kind of funny. I started talking to her, a little bit about God and whatnot. I said, "I don't know what your faith is." And she was like, "Well, I'm Jewish." And I was like, "Oh," it kind of threw me for a little bit of a curve because I was trying to talk to her about Jesus. And she says, "I'm Jewish." So I just looked at her and I said, "Well, you know what? Jesus was a Jew." And so we talked a little bit, talked about, I started relating things to the Old Testament to her. And we talked for about 45 minutes, and all of a sudden we're landing in Pittsburgh. And I looked at her and I said, "See what I tell you?" I said, "Everything's fine." She was heading to Pittsburgh to one of the Pittsburgh University medical hospitals for some treatment that she needed. I got to pray with her and we exchanged information. But just another example of just going through your daily life, and you keep your eyes open. You never know what God will have you involved in. And certainly, I'm sure it was a blessing for her because she was distracted the whole time, didn't even have to think about flying. So, if you enjoyed today's briefing, subscribe here. Check out the website, kingdomstuff.org, or the book Kingdom Stuff on Amazon. We'll see you tomorrow.